Welcome to the Saturday, October 22nd, 2016 edition of the 15-Minute Drill Podcast. I'm Walter Johnson, and lots of final scores to get to for the week of Friday, October 21st, 2016. So let's get started and start with the game in Leesburg and the Lee County Trojans, after starting the season at 6-0 overall and opening GHSA Region 1-6A play just 2 weeks ago, with a 55-29 win in a rout over the number one ranked Houston County. It's now lost 2 in a row. And the team that's currently number one in Class 6A, the Valdosta Wildcats, will stay that way after picking up a 27-7 win at Trojan Field in Leesburg. And Lee County was number one before the loss to north side of Warner Robins, and then Valdosta, without playing a single game, rose to the number one ranking. And the Wildcats go to 2-0 in GHSA Region 1-6A and 7-1 overall with 2 games left to play. Final score once again: Valdosta 27, Lee County 7, and Lee County falls to 1-2 overall and 6-2 in GHSA Region 1-6A. And the other contests in GHSA Region 1-6A happened in Warner Robins, Georgia, and it was the Eagles from north side of Warner Robins escaping with a 17-14 win over the Coffee Trojans, the other Trojan team from Douglas, out of Douglas, Georgia. And big win for north side of Warner Robins. And a quick look at the GHSA Region 1-6A standings has Valdosta all alone in first place in the region at 2-0. And north side of Warner Robins 2-1 in the region, 8-1 overall, with just one regular season game left against Houston County next week. And that's the season finale for the Eagles. It'll be played at Freedom Field, right in near Kathleen, Georgia. I mean, that should be a huge game. And moving right along in Region 1-4A at Humo Stadium in Albany on Friday night, October 21st, the Cairo Syrup Makers moved one step closer to clinching the GHSA Region 1-6A title outright, as the Syrup Makers stomped the Westover Patriots 34-6 the final score. And it's Westover's second straight loss. And the Patriots fall to 2-2 in region play and 4-4 overall. And so Westover is now 2-3 in region play and 4-4 overall with just 2 games left to play. And the Patriots head to Columbus next week to face another team called Northside, as in north side of Columbus, in a battle of Patriots. And then they wrap up the regular season with a Thursday night game on November 3rd against the Shaw Raiders. And some of the other scores in Region 1-4A. And Hardaway fell 34-18 to America Sumter. And Americas goes to 3-2 in Region 1-4A action. And Carver Columbus carved up Columbus in 45-24. And north side of Columbus also defeated Shaw. And don't have the exact final scores in front of me, but America Sumter did defeat Hardaway 34-18, and Carver Columbus, north side of Columbus, also picked up a couple of victories. And you're seeing Carver Columbus over Columbus High, and north side of Columbus over Shaw High. And a quick look at the Region 1-4A standings. And the Cairo Syrup Makers all alone in first place at 5-0 in the region, 7-1 overall. Syrup Makers have won 6 straight games. And Cairo has 2 games left in the regular season. And Next week, the Spreakers are back at home against Columbus High, and then we'll host North Side of Columbus on November 4th. So the K-Roll will be home for their final 2 games. And then they got America, and then after K-Roll at 5-0 in the region, got America Sumter, Carver, Columbus, and Northside Columbus, all sitting at 3-2 in region play. And Westover, Hardaway, and Columbus, plus Columbus High, those 3 teams sitting at 2-3. So if the regular season ended right now, which of course it doesn't, the Patriots will find themselves on the outside looking in, and they end up missing the playoffs. So that means those final 2 games of the regular season, next week at North Side of Columbus, and then the home finale on Thursday, November 3rd against Shaw. Really huge games. Basically means Westover will need to win their final 2 games and get a lot of help. And that's a lot. And moving on to GHSA Region 1 AAA. And the Crystal County Cougars from Cordele, Georgia, are still undefeated. And the Cougars overcame an early 14-0 deficit against the Cook Hornets out of Adel, Georgia. And Crystal County cruised to a convincing 47-14 win. And Crystal County goes to 2-0 in GHSA Region 1 AA and 8-0 overall. And they're now tied with the Worth County Rams for first place in Region 1 AAA. And the Rams at home in Sylvester rolled past the Daugherty Trojans from Albany. Final score 49-12. Worth County getting the big victory. And Worth County's 2-0 in the region, 5-3 overall. And a quick glance at the 1 AAA standings. And Crisp County and Worth County tied for the region lead at 2-0. And Cook and Daugherty are tied for 3rd place at 1-2. And technically, Cook has the tiebreaker over Daugherty thanks to their 29-20 win over Daugherty just the week before on Friday, October 14th. And the Monroe Tornadoes, who had this week off, are still winless in Region 1 AAA action at 0-2, 2-4 in Region 1 AAA. And the Crisp County Cougars will head down Highway 300 to Hugh Mills Stadium next Thursday, October 27th, as they take on the Daugherty Trojans, and this is the final regular season game for Daugherty. And then on Friday, October 28th, and the Worth County Rams will take the short 20-plus mile trip down along U.S. Highway 82 into Hugh Mills Stadium to face the Monroe Tornadoes. And Monroe's basically in the same boat Westover's in if they want to get in the playoffs. And the Tornadoes will need to win their last 2 games. And plus get a lot of help just to back into the playoffs. And moving right along to 1AA, GHSA Region 1AA, the Thomasville Bulldogs on Thursday night, Thursday, October 20th. And a roll past Albany High. And the Bulldogs won easily 55-12 over Albany High. And Thomasville is above 500 for the first time in a long time. Now sitting at 4-3 overall, but they're undefeated in GHSA Region 1AA action at 3-0. And the Bulldogs are now tied with the Fitchfield Purple Hurricanes for first place in GHSA Region 1AA. And that's because the Purple Hurricanes just absolutely blew away the Brooks County Trojans out of Quitman, Georgia. Final score Fitzgerald 40, Brooks County 7. And Thomasville and Fitzgerald now tied for first place at 3-0 in the region. And with the Purple Hurricanes sitting at 7-1 overall. And as mentioned earlier, Thomasville's 4-3 overall. And Brooks County falls to 2-1 in region play, 6-2 overall with 2 games left to play. And Brooks County hits the road to face Thomasville next week. And that could that could prove to be a big game next week at Veterans Stadium in Thomasville, Georgia. And Berrien sits at 1-2 and holding on to that number 4 playoff position. 3-4 overall. And Early County was off this week as well. And Early County's 0-3 in region play, 0-7-1 overall. And one to the right of that second hyphen was a 7-all tie against Seminole County. And more on Seminole County momentarily. Breaking down this Region 1 single A race in Albany High, 0-3 in region, 0-8 overall, with just 2 games left to play. And believe it or not, Albany High still has an outside shot at making the playoffs. I do mean outside shot, but Indians would have to win their final 2 games. Hope to get some help as well. Albany High in the same boat as, say, Doherty, Monroe, and Westover. And got Region 1 single A action to report. And Terrell County Green Waves out of Dawson outlasted Chattahoochee County 39-28. And Miller County was a 44-8 winner over Randolph Clay. And Pelham stomped Stewart County 61-8. Seminole County, a 40-0 winner over Baconton Community Charter School out of Baconton, Georgia, in northern Mitchell County, about 10 miles or so southeast of Albany, on U.S. Highway 19. And finally, in Edison, Georgia, it was the Mitchell County Eagles picking up a 44-0 win and a shutout over the Calhoun County Cougars. And looking at a quick look at the GHSA Region 1 single A standings through games played on Friday, October 21st. And Pelham and Mitchell County now tied for the region lead at 6-1. Both teams are 7-1 overall. And Miller County, Randolph Clay, and Terrell County all set at 5-2 in region play, Region 1 single A action. And those 3 teams are in a 3-way tie for third. And Seminole County 4-3 in region, 4-3-1 overall. And as I mentioned earlier, that lone tie came in a 7-all, not up against Early County. And a really tight race for the region title going into these final 2 weeks. And keep in mind, the top 24 teams out of 51 in all advance to the state playoffs in GHSA Region 1 single A. So, unlike the other regions, the teams aren't going to be seeded 1, 2, 3, or 4. And in GISA action, the Deerfield Windsor Knights fell to the Brookwood Warriors out of Thomasville, Georgia. Final score 21-10. Brookwood a winner. And the Knights actually led 10-7 after 3 quarters, but Brookwood scored back-to-back touchdowns in the final period to pick up the victory. And Brookwood finished the second in GISA, Region 3 AAA behind defending GISA AAA state champion Valwood. And Deerfield, on the other hand, will settle for the number 3 seed in the first round playoff game next week in Augusta somewhere. And in another GISA contest, in the battle for the GISA Region 3 AA title, it was the Terrell Academy Eagles from Dawson crushing the Westwood Wildcats from Camilla, 37-0, the final score. And finally, in Region 1 7A action, Lowndes over Camden, 43-10. And Colquitt County over Tift County, 37-14. Lowndes and Colquitt will meet for the Region 170 title next week. And Bainbridge picking up a big win over Thomas County Central, 17-6. And that's going to do it for this edition of the 15-Minute Drill Podcast. I'm Walter Johnson. You can follow on Twitter at SWJ Network. Thank you for listening and have a good week.